Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Mindy Eggen, and in today's video, I am creating these gorgeous, colorful scenes using a brand new stencil from Altenew. So I will walk you through how I did the ink blending for these trees and how I turned this one stencil into two cards. This video is also a part of a video hub featuring the March 2025 release from Altenew. We have giveaways, we have tons of inspiration for you. I'm going to leave a link down below in the video description, linking you to the next person in the hub. And then out of these two cards, I want you to let me know which one is your favorite. Leave that comment in down below in the comments section, and a winner will be chosen among the comments left across the video hub. What I want to do first is show you some of the new products out of this release because I think this may be my favorite release from Altenew. I'm going to leave a timestamp down below in the video description that's going to tell you when I'm actually starting my card project. So if you want to skip kind of a quick walkthrough of the products, you can just check that timestamp and it'll take you right to the point of the video where I start creating the card. I'm also going to have links in that video description listing all of the products that I'm showing today and everything I'm using in the video. All right, let's jump into this amazing release. So, the first thing we have here is Bridge to My Heart. It is a small miniature stamp set, but it goes along with the die cut Bridge to My Heart. So, that is a layering die to create that beautiful bridge. Next, we have Oxy Daisy. I love, love, love this set. It is beautiful. I am going to be creating with this, and you are going to see numerous projects I create with a little later on this month between my blog and videos. I have lives planned, and I also will be on the Altenew YouTube channel and blog as well. So I did show you a few products there, the Strong Oak Stencil, which I will be using today. And then the kit here, oh my gosh, I really had a hard time picking which product I wanted to use in my video today because this flower art set is amazing with that embossing folder. Definitely high on my to-do list. Then we have the Cherry Blossom Branch, another gorgeous layering die set. We have the Old City Doors, so that can go along with that flowering branch or even your cherry blossom branch. And then the Delicate Magnolia. We have a zero waste berries, couldn't read it. It's berries and branches. So you can die cut out all of your pieces, and then you have a ton left over to create that little bouquet. We have some scripted sentiments. Those are die cuts. Then we have the quill and inkwell. This is a little collection of products that go together nicely. We have the parchment scrolls, and then there's also going to be little envelopes. And these products are going to work amazing with some other new products that Altenew is releasing, which is the wax beads. Now, you may remember Altenew had, I believe, sticks available. Well, now they're all coming out in beads. I love playing with wax seals. It is very therapeutic and relaxing. I don't always use them on projects. I actually kind of use them as like a fidget toy, but I love creating them, and there's so many gorgeous colors and designs. So here's a quick look at some of the wax beads that they are releasing right now. And then I'm also going to be showing you some of the actual wax seals. I do want to note that if you head to the Altenew YouTube channel, there is a live that is already scheduled over there. I'm going to be going live with Lydia from Altenew, and we are going to be creating with the wax seals. So be sure to check out the Altenew YouTube channel for that. Now we have a wax warmer and the spoon. You have an individual handle. I was just showing you there that you needed to take the top off to actually get to the part of the handle that screws onto your wax seals. And then they are releasing some beautiful 3D wax seals. So there's flowers, there's a bow, so it looks like a wrapped present. And then they also are releasing some mini seals. And the mini seals, these tiny, cute little things, work really well with the envelope die set that I showed previously. So lots of options. You can pick your favorite. I mean, I cannot wait to play with these. It's just something about it that's very therapeutic. So all you need to do is take your wax seal stamp and screw it onto your handle. Now, I personally like to have a couple handles handy. So if I'm really kind of sitting down for a wax seal session, I can have a couple of those stampers ready to go. Now, you do need a tea light that just fits right under the warmer. I have done some wax seal videos in the past if you want to check that out. And they also have a permanent marker set. And those are used for coloring on the raised area of your wax seal. Now we're moving in to some new colors. There are four new color collections. Some of the colors are not completely brand new. They are kind of working the Amy Tangerine colors into actual collections. I'm going to go ahead and just swatch these colors out. This is the first time I actually had swatched these colors. So this was kind of my introduction to the colors to see what they all look like. But this first collection, I will have the collections linked down below in the video description. I don't know the names quite offhand just yet. But this one I wanted to point out, it's actually a yellow set. My first yellow there actually kind of looked like a neon green. It's not neon green. That was just something with the color grading in my video. So I'm moving on to the next set here. We have some beautiful oranges and then we have some blues. And like I said, some of the colors do say the Amy Tangerine on there. So they kind of worked them into their layering ink collections. And now I can move on to creating with the strong oak stencil. So first, I want to show you, this is a card I shared over on the Altenew blog just the other day. So I will link that blog post down below. That gives you an idea of the basic greens. And now I really wanted to get creative with this. Trees, there's something about trees for me. Some people love the ocean, some people are into city lights. I am a nature tree girl. So I immediately thought mystical and dreamy, and I wanted to do a rainbow tree with some just beautifully blended backgrounds. So I went through my color swatch book and I picked out shades of the rainbow that I wanted to use for my card project. Now, the first layer of the stencil is going to be the most open area of the stencil. At first, I thought I would go in order of the rainbow from top to bottom, but because there's so much open space there in the middle, I thought it would be better to kind of go around clockwise. So that's what I'm doing here. This is just the first layer of the stencil. So I'm using some small blending brushes, working my way through the rainbow and kind of leaving it a little lighter in the center. I don't want to mix a lot of those colors because, like, orange and green just don't get along that well. So that was my first layer of the stencil going through the rainbow colors. And those were the first color in each of the collections, so the lightest shade. Now I added on the second layer of the stencil, starting to build the detail of the tree. This is using the second color, the second lightest color. How do we say it? Second color in the ink collections. And I'm going around the tree once again, just in that rainbow order. It is fun though to overlap. So, like the blue overlapping the green or the purple overlapping the blue, those work really well together. And of course, when purple overlaps with pink. So now when I remove this stencil, even right here after the second layer is stunning. I was so happy and in my moment creating with this stencil. So now I'm moving on to the last layer of the tree, and this is going to be the next color in those ink collections. So it's gradually getting darker and more intense. I think with the yellow, I did skip ahead to the like darkest shade in there just to really kind of give it that honey color in it, but worked through all of the colors again and it's just this was all me. This was just my happy place. This is what makes me happy, but it can be any color combination. It doesn't have to be rainbow. I just really wanted to get out there with this stencil. But I do think this stencil would look good year round. I mean, just the different colors you think of the fall, it's going to be just gorgeous. Now, with the tree trunk, I decided to go a little out of character. I mean, we have a rainbow tree, so why keep anything normal? I went with some warm grays. Now, a regular brown tree trunk you can see in my original card project looks beautiful. But this one, there was just something about it. So there's three layers. Some of the areas can get pretty, I don't want to say flimsy, but you do have to hold your finger over some of them because they are pretty delicate. Now, up in the top in the tree where the branches are kind of tucked in there a little bit, I jumped to the darkest color in that collection to really make them kind of dark inside of the tree. So that is the finished ink blending for the tree, but now I'm going to take the coordinating die and die cut it out. And there is part of the stencil where you can mask off the bottom portion of the tree to add grass if you wanted to do a one layer card. That is really pretty. But I was debating if I wanted to do a 5x7 card or if I wanted to do an A2 size. I decided to go with the 5x7, but I'm starting my cardstock out cut to 4x6 because I like to have a really nice thick white margin going around the outer edge. And I figured, why not split the joy and make two cards by cutting my tree in half? So this first half is going to be more of a nighttime sky. So I'm using some lighter blues to create a highlight where my center or where my tree is going to be. And then as I got out towards the edges, I gradually went darker. I did have to add a little bit of green down towards the bottom just to ground my image a little bit. And then here's how that's going to look. So I did the half of the tree that's going to be on there with the blues and purples. I did that with the night sky background. And then for the other side that has more of the warm tones, I'm going with more of a pink purple type of background. You can see as I'm blending, I'm being a little reckless. I'm not being overly careful because really you're not going to notice it. The contrast of having the darker edge is kind of going to distract you a little bit from the rest of the blending. So I did some pink, then I came in with some purple, and I think I even maybe have brought in like a sapphire to really step up that contrast. And that was a lot of ink blending. My arm got a workout, but I am super happy with how all of these came out. So I'm placing the panels next to each other, kind of laying that out, and then just placing my tree over the top. And I know it's going to break some people's heart when I cut that tree, but I promise you will see this tree again in my card projects. I could not let this go without adding splatters. So I am going to splatter all both backgrounds and the tree with some white gouache from Altenew. I just added a little bit of water to it and flicked it on with my paintbrush. And then I'm bringing in some of the metallic watercolor. So this is a really nice bright gold. Again, I'm going to splatter it on both of the backgrounds and the tree. And I'm also putting some on a block and flicking it on. That kind of helps me get some finer flicks to the background. Then once everything is dry, I can start adhering this to my cards. So with the tree, I did die cut it out another time from just plain white cardstock and added that to the back of my stenciled panel. That just adds a little bit of stability to my tree. And then I added foam tape to just the one side that I'm working with right now. I figured that way I wouldn't get anything gummy and nothing would be stuck to my work surface. So after I attached that, I flipped it over, trimmed off the other half, and I'm going to use that on the other card panel. I did not pay attention to my tree trunk, so I had to be a little careful there because that got to be a little sliver on this second card. I was a little bummed about that, but I attached them to a 5x7 card front. I added some sentiments that I already had pre-cut and done in my drawer from some previous projects, and these cards are done. I could not be happier with how these turned out. Like I said, you will be seeing these again. And be sure to check out the links down below in the video description for the next person in the hop. Leave a comment down below letting me know which one is your favorite. Those comments will enter you into the giveaway. And check out the Altenew YouTube channel where I will be going live with Lydia very soon. And we're going to be playing with some wax seals. I hope you all enjoyed today's video and inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again real soon. Bye.